Are you on the lookout for new hobbies and interested in trying video games? So if you're a multi-passionate like me with lots of different interests, hobbies, and projects going on, video games can be a really fantastic fit. There are so many different genres to explore, and there's always something new to try out. But let's be real. If you've got many different things competing for your time, you probably don't want to feel tied down to a game that you have to finish. So today, I'm sharing 5 video games that I think are perfect for multi-passionates who love variety and need some flexibility. These are games where you can explore freely, choose your own goals, follow your own path, and take a break without worrying about losing track of a storyline. They're ideal for picking up and putting down whenever you like. Plus, they're all going to be available on the Nintendo Switch, which I think is a really great console because of its portability. These games are also available on other ports like PC and PS5. So let's dive in. These are my top 5 games for multi-passionate gamers. So the first one is Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is an open-ended farming simulator where you can grow crops, raise animals, explore mines, fish, cook, craft, and build relationships with the town's NPCs. The game even includes combat and seasonal events, providing something for every player style. And if you're playing on the Switch, a new update was just released, finally. I think it's perfect for multi-passionates because its gameplay is designed to offer a ton of variety, letting you choose what to focus on daily. The world progresses only when you play, making it easy to drop the game and pick it back up weeks or even months later. You can jump back in, reorganize your farm, immediately pursue a different goal. It's a flexible game that keeps on giving through each playthrough. When I first started playing, I focused so much on the community center, and once I was done, I almost completely lost my motivation to play, and I stopped for a while. But later, I came back in and I just started setting up and decorating my farm. It was so much fun just gathering all the resources I needed, looking up some samples on Pinterest, and setting up my farm the way I like. And the game doesn't make it super hard to collect items like some other games. With all the new updates, there's new areas to explore, new places to check out, new farms to build. I'm very excited to check out the newest update to see what exactly has changed, and looking at the list of all the different changes, it makes it clear that this game is going to get even better. And the creator himself recommends starting a new farm anyways with the new update, so it's the best time to just jump into this game. The next game is Don't Starve. So Don't Starve is a wilderness survival game with a dark, quirky art style. Players must gather resources, craft items, build bases to survive in an ever-hostile world filled with strange creatures and environmental hazards. The game has been around for a while, and it has lots of different expansions and even a multiplayer version called Don't Starve Together. I think that it's perfect for multi-passionates because Don't Starve offers an engaging loop where each session feels like a brand new adventure. The randomly generated maps, survival mechanics, and multiple characters with special abilities make every game feel different. It's perfect for players who enjoy taking a break and then diving back into an immersive world without worrying about ongoing storylines. You can restart at any time and experiment with new survival strategies and still feel a sense of novelty. The thing about this game, which at first is pretty shocking, but now it's one of my favorite mechanics. So when you start a new world, when your character dies, the whole world is erased and you have to start over again. This really raises the stakes. So you're just trying to survive as long as possible, and as the days tick on, the game gets progressively harder, sending you different obstacles and seasonal changes. I think it's fun because it is a learning curve. With each game, with each world that you start, you learn that your character can die, and then when you restart, you learn the survival strategy to prevent it. And there's some other things that you can do as well. Like I said, there's some DLCs that offer new challenges to the game, and there's also adventure mode where you can enter a challenge of 5 different worlds that they put you through, each one more challenging than the last, to get to the very end. Of all the games on this list, this is one that I've been playing the longest. It's been out for a while, so naturally I spent the most time in it, but I've really spent the most time in it. And every time I pick it back up, I start a new world and I still have a good time. I will say that if you are a new player, I recommend the base game Don't Starve, and then as you get better and as you play, maybe you can try out Don't Starve Together. The next game is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is an open world adventure where players control Link in a sprawling, beautiful version of Hyrule. With minimal guidance, players can explore, solve puzzles, battle creatures, and uncover secrets at their own pace. I think it's perfect for multi-passionates because the game's open-ended design encourages players to wander freely, choosing from countless ways to spend your time, exploring shrines, finding recipes, doing side quests, or just exploring the map. Breath of the Wild is built to be revisited. Even if you step away for months, it's easy to jump back in. Now, it does have a story, but I feel like it really does not demand your strict progression. The freedom to choose your goals and set your own challenges makes it ideal for multi-passionate players who thrive on flexibility. The first time I played through, I kind of ignored the story entirely. I had the most fun just clearing the map. The graphics, the world building, everything is just amazing and beautiful. Just exploring and seeing what's out there on the map is so much fun. You can drop this game and come back later and still have a good time. And if you want, you can go through the story, but I recommend just doing whatever calls to you, whatever feels the most fun in the moment. The next game is Animal Crossing: New Horizons. In Animal Crossing, you build your dream island, you interact with villagers, and you customize your world through seasonal events, crafting, and collecting. I think it's perfect for multi-passionates because Animal Crossing's real-time progression and laid-back gameplay allow you to shape your island in endless ways. You can take months off and return to a familiar yet ever-evolving space where you're free to explore new updates, change your island layout, or redecorate. The game's simplicity and ability to dive in for short or long sessions makes it highly accessible for multi-passionates who want freedom without the pressure. There is a tiny storyline to follow, which is basically making your island official. For me, I like having those kind of tasks. I usually do those first, and then after that, just work on decorating the island and making it somewhere comfy. This game is popular for being released during COVID-19 when everyone was in lockdown, and this provided kind of a safe escape from reality. I actually played it much later, but I still had a lot of fun. I played it as naturally as possible, meaning I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, so I didn't have access to any additional content or any way to trade with other players. And that ended up being one of the most frustrating things, was that getting items just was kind of tedious and it took a long time. And you often got items that you didn't really want or duplicates of items. So unlike Stardew Valley, where they just give you that catalog eventually so you can decorate your farm and your home as you please, Animal Crossing takes a bit more time. But I think this is good for us multi-passionates. We need to be able to slow down and take things easy. For my first island, I didn't follow any Pinterest posts or anything like that. I just used the items I had and decorated my home as I wanted, and my island wasn't super pretty or fancy, but I still like the way that it turned out. Unfortunately, one mechanic that I don't like when you're playing on Switch is that you can only have one island per console, so even if you have other profiles on your Switch, you have to play in the same island. And at one point, I really wanted to start from the beginning, and that meant just completely deleting my previous island. And I really didn't like that and later regretted it. I want that island back. But yeah, I recommend you as a multi-passionate get into this game for those times when you need to unwind. Alright, and the last game that I want to recommend is No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is a space exploration game where players can travel across a vast universe filled with procedurally generated planets, each with unique ecosystems, resources, and alien species. You can craft, trade, build bases, and engage in space battles. I think it's perfect for multi-passionates because the sheer scale of No Man's Sky and the variety of activities you can engage in make it endlessly replayable. You can explore different planets, start a base, discover new species, or mine resources. The game's mechanics let you dive in and do whatever appeals most, and updates frequently add new features and planets. Returning after a long break often brings exciting new changes, giving you something new to explore. The game's open-ended nature makes it perfect for players who enjoy picking a direction and going off the beaten path without feeling restricted by story requirements. So I had actually played this game when it first came out and was disappointed with it, but recently it had new updates and everyone online was talking about how great it's become. So I decided to try it out and start a new game. I am suggesting this game last is because I think it is for more seasoned gamers. There's a bit of a learning curve and there's a lot to this game, so for some people it's hard to get into, and myself included when I first played it. But I do think if you have some time and you're looking for a really good space exploration game that also offers you the flexibility and variety you need as a multi-passionate, this is the perfect game for you. Alright, that's my list. These games offer you a chance to explore, experiment, and revisit without any pressure to finish. Each one gives you freedom, variety, and a sandbox of opportunities that fit perfectly into a lifestyle lifestyle that values flexibility and creativity. So go ahead, pick one, dive in, and take your time exploring everything that these games have to offer. Let me know what you think down below if you've played any of these games, or if you have any games in mind that you think would be a perfect fit for a multi-passionate player. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!